All right, I think we can start. So welcome everyone to another webinar of the Web3 CFO Club, which today is on powering your crypto invoicing, payroll and expenses using request finance. Today's a different webinar whereby we'll give you a comprehensive demo, let's say, of using the request finance platform. There's a lot to unpack in the 1 hour that we have. And today I'm joined by Christophe Fonteneau, the founding member and head of partnerships at Request Finance. Christophe, who we lovingly at Request Finance called Tough, will, like I said, provide you a demo of using the Request Finance platform. But I think you know best what you'll cover in this demo. But it's going to be regarding issuing and paying invoices in crypto, making batch payment, and if we have time, claiming expenses in crypto. Maybe before we start, Tough, could you just share with everyone a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at Request and your current role at the company?
Yeah, hi everyone. So Tough from Request. I've been at Request since 2017, initially with the Request Network, and then co-founded Request Finance in 2020, Request Finance being our operational company managing Request Finance applications, intelligence, and value proposition.
Thank you. So I think it's better if I'll stop sharing my screen and rather let you carry on with the presentation for today. So I'll stop sharing my screen right now. Yeah, and you can share yours.
Yes, I'm gonna take over the screen share. So yeah. I prepared 4 slides, just as an intro. So I'm gonna start with a question to interact with everyone. So who's come on. Okay, who's confused? I like that question. So can anyone here in the audience in the chat is comfortable explaining what's the difference between request and crypto, request and Bitwave? How does request, crypto, Bitwave, Ledger, and Fireblocks live together in the same value chain? I'm really don't hesitate to send yes, no if you're confused in the chat. That's gonna help for the following. And just wait a few seconds. So you can just say it in the chat. It's interesting. So do you have any answer here?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I'm gonna continue. So here, the objective is everyone in our Web3 industry is confused in the sense that we all operate with this nightmare every day, from anonymous transactions, dealing with Etherscan transactions, receiving most of our messages on socials. It could be WhatsApp, it could be Slack. Sometimes it's Discord. We receive wallet address on Telegram. We never really know what it corresponds to. At the end of the day, we have to make payments. So powering this industry payments, the head of finance, the CFOs, the Web3 CFO Club members mostly, and the founders have to pay and get paid in crypto. And we have this daily nightmare. So what's interesting is I was asking about who's confused in the positioning of everyone in this industry. The whole story in terms of value chain starts with a custody. So every single company has financial assets to host, to keep in their custody, and you have the certified custodians, the SaaS solutions. you have really well known from the industry, from MetaMask to Ledger, and then for the certified custodians, you have like Xtrust or like Coinbase Custody, for example. With these funds, you have to use a daily spend management tool to collect all your turnover, to pay and get paid, but also like to make all your disbursement. It can be a salary, paying vendors, contractors. And here, that's where requests like interact with this custodian. Request is actually your daily management, daily spend management tool for any disbursement you have to make from, I was saying, like salary, any type of payment, vendor payment, contractor payment. As long as it's in crypto, request helps. Why? Why do we help? Because at the end of the day, you have to bookkeep all these transactions into your favorite accounting software. It could be like Xero, QuickBooks, NetSuite, or any other traditional accounting software. The thing is, these transactions do not fit, those Web3 transactions do not fit into traditional accounting softwares. So the value of request here is we provide companies a human readable paper trail, I mean invoices or transaction receipts, for every single Web3 transactions to be integrated into an accounting software. Now, why would we need subledger technologies like Bitwave or Crypto if Request does the job of documenting the receivables and the payables? We need those subledger technology because every single transaction in Web3 is not powered by Request. Request is your daily management tool for spending account receivables and payables. And you need a tool to bookkeep and match all these transactions with your chart of accounts. And this is the role of the subledger technologies. So then, if you have the whole value chain from a custodian, request, any of the subledger technologies, and then an accounting software, there is high probability that this doesn't happen to you. So we all work in the sense that we make the life of the CFOs easy in their daily life, but we also all work for like compliance and audit trail. So that's the first slides I wanted to show everyone. Now, Umar, do you still hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you the way request works. So request for either I voluntarily split it like the screen in two. You have the green window where I'm gonna use to issue an invoice, and you have the black one on the left, which I'm gonna use to pay it. So here, the idea is I'm gonna use request to build a sponsorship for the Web3 CFO Club today. So I go to get paid. Maybe I can enlarge it a bit. There we go. I'm gonna create an invoice. So my company is the Web3 CFO Club. This is my company address. I'm gonna choose one of my clients. So Request Network, the foundation, why not? And we are in Switzerland, so I'm gonna try Swiss francs for like my accounting system. And so now everything is denominated in Swiss francs.
Chris, we cannot see the screen right now.
Which one?
I'm currently just seeing the home screen of Request.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing and share again. Screen, entire screen. I'm gonna share this one. Do you see the two screens?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here, I was saying that I just choose Swiss francs for denominating my invoice because Swiss francs is like the the currency of my accounting. However, I'd like to be paid in crypto. So I'm going to choose USDC on Polygon for like cost efficiency. And I'd like to be paid on my MetaMask. Like I could be paid on to any address, but here like I just specify one. I'm going to type in Web3 CFO sponsorship. Okay. And let's say that I'm going to sponsor an event for like 10 Swiss francs. I send that invoice. Okay. So now the invoice is being broadcasted on chain, and that's super important. I'm going to explain you why afterwards. So see here, we see that now we have a pending invoice of 10 Swiss francs, which is actually like being broadcasted on chain. Of course, the customer receives a notification that specifies that they receive an invoice. Notifications looks like this. You received an invoice from the Web3 CFO Club for 10 euros. That's the old one because I sent 2. Okay. But that's what the notification looks like. Now, when you click on that link, you arrive in this page. So I have the one in 10 euros and one in 10 Swiss francs. I'm going to pay this one. So here, I'm going to enlarge it a bit for the audience. We have the exact same invoice on the other side of the world, on the payer side. So normally, a payer would first Google 10 Swiss francs in USDC. So everyone would do like 10 CHF in USDC to have a rough change rate, right? So like 11.15. Go for this. So you can go on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, whatever. So especially, and then people would use their wallet. They would open it. They would click send. They would copy paste the address of that person. So that's the old way of doing things, but that's I show you how painful is this. You would you have to copy paste an address, select a currency, okay, and potentially when writing it was 11.15, and then potentially you can make mistake while with the manual input here, okay. Instead of doing all this with request, you do something really simple. It's one-click payment. So this saves a ton of time for the CFOs of the industry because we mitigate all the errors due to manual actions. You hit pay, you choose the currency you want to pay with. Of course, if you have USDC, you pay with USDC, but if you have another stablecoin, you can pay with it. Request computes exactly the change rate at the moment of payment corresponding to 10 Swiss francs. So here in this case, 11.14, and one click. Okay, 2 because I need to confirm. Go for 2 clicks. Okay, so now the payment is being broadcasted on chain. What happens is the payment and the invoice are actually in the same pipe. So request is kind of the hyperloop of invoicing and payments on the blockchain, when traditional payment rails are one rail is the paper trail, the second rail is the payment trail, and the accounting systems and the CPAs of the industry do reconciliation and matching invoices and payment all day long. Here, as soon as request is detecting the payment, the app will update the status of the invoice accordingly, and this can take just few seconds according of the traffic on chain. It's a matter of seconds. Once an invoice is paid, I'm going to show you while waiting for this one to be detected. Once an invoice is paid, it looks like this. So the payment status updates automatically to paid. And when you have that invoice paid, at the end of the day, if you really want to see the Etherscan link behind, you have it here. And at the end of the day, you have 2 choices. Sorry, I'm splitting my screen again. You can download your invoice and provide that invoice to your accountant. So I was saying that at the end of the day, you have two possibilities. Either you share like that invoice to your accounting firm or auditor, regulator, tax authority, which specifies an issuer, a recipient, a denomination in their local fiat currency, so they're really comfortable, and the settlement here at the bottom that occurred actually in crypto. Or you provide them Etherscan link like this or Polygon scan, and this could turn them really like nuts. So either you provide them this whole list of transaction hash, either you provide them this list of transactions here. That line by line, if I reduce the size, it's exactly the same information, like line to line, except that on the left screen, everything is clickable, and you can like visualize the reason, the issuer, the recipient, and since everything is denominated in fiat currency, you can export this directly into your favorite accounting system. So that's for the invoicing part. Now,
Tough, can I just interrupt you? We have Guy from Integral asking how many fiat currencies are supported for the automatic conversion.
Can you repeat this again?
How many fiat currencies are supported?
That's a really good question. I would say 10. Let's do that together. Screen, window. Let me enter a screen. Let me share my screen again. Let's create an invoice all together. I think it's 10 currencies, 10 fiat currencies or 12 and like 200 crypto for equivalent. Get paid, issue, create an invoice. At least like for the denomination in fiat, the most popular ones are like euro, pounds, dollars, Canadian dollars. Now we have a bunch basically like of, it's more 20 than 10 though. The national currencies, it's super, I wouldn't say it's super easy to add. Those prices come from Chainlink price feeds. So if the currency is supported on Chainlink, there is no reason for us not to add it. It's just a matter of customers asking for it. I heard correctly, you said sending the invoice was on chain as well. What information? Oh yeah. So interesting. Thank you, Scott. So when we broadcast an invoice, so that's sometimes the difference when people ask what's the difference between request and a traditional software like bill.com. We broadcast every single invoice on chain. What I mean here is we use Gnosis chain as a backend for timestamp and immutability of transactions, and the content of each invoice is encrypted on IPFS. So only the issuer and the recipient of that invoice can decrypt the content of the invoice. And for the other persons looking at the scan, it's like a transaction that no one can read in particular. So yeah, thank you. The beauty of this is what makes request special is hosting those those invoices on chain. Why do we do this? We have those financial invoices on chain because when I send an invoice to a customer and the customer accepts that invoice, even if it's payable in 30 days, let's say like $100,000 payable in 30 days. Once the customer has accepted the terms and the condition and commits to pay it in 30 days, this invoice becomes a financial asset. And this financial asset can be traded at the bank. So that's called like factoring. It can be used for like a credit insurance purpose, for financing purpose. It could be used as a financial asset as a collateral for borrowing or lending. So we have potentially in the pipe plenty of financial products that we can co-build or build ourselves together with partners. Depends on the people we meet. Financial products. So request as such is not like the end product itself. We're talking about a suite of financial applications and financial products. Any other question? No. Okay, I continue with the demo. So here I was like showing you the one of the app which is like the most like used at request, which is the invoicing app. Another part of request is the payroll app. Okay, so the payroll app, I'm going to turn this off. I don't need this to see that anymore. The payroll app is this one. So basically what you can do with request is you can schedule salary disbursements for your employees. So we don't compute the pay slips ourselves. So you could use, for example, in the US, a company like Deal or Gusto to compute the pay slips with the local tax and national tax that you have to add to your like a pay slip. But once you have a pay slip and you want to make the disbursement in crypto, then you can use a request. So here it's pretty easy. I had a salary to Scottie Pippen. That's interesting. That is planned for like $5 payable in DAI. So it's like basically you create, you push a payment to one of your employees, and every time you make a disbursement to that person, you have this attachment. So this receipt of payment plus, so here there was no attached file, but here you could have attached the pay slip of the person. So that's an interesting feature that people use. So invoicing app is more for vendors and contractors submitting an invoice. Payroll app is more for push payment that you would make to your employees without asking them to submit an invoice. So of course you can set a recurring salary for like one of your employees. So I'm going to choose another one. There we go. So here I'm creating like a salary for Kim, one of my teammates. That's her wallet address. She's like in the business development department. I continue. I would like to pay that person. So of course I could pay that person in DAI. I'm gonna pay USDC. There we go. And I'm gonna pay that person, I don't know, like 1,000 USDC on a monthly basis, but it could be bi-weekly. Here I specify the reason. Once I've done this, it creates in my dashboard salaries to be paid. So if I do set up a salary for Kim, my employee, the 15th of the month or the 20th of the month, each 20th request is going to create a request for payment here in my dashboard. And I can come here and I do like batch payment. So here is all my payments on Ethereum, but I can also like do all my payments on Polygon in one click and all my payments on BNB chain in a third click. So here, I don't know how many payments I have to make, but like let's say like, I don't know, 50 plus. So here it would take me one click for Ethereum, one click for Polygon. So if I do pay, select them all, pay, it makes a summary of 60 payments that's going to occur on Polygon, Here, I'm going to pay 121 USDT. And of course, if I have enough funds for demo purpose, I click approve. And once I click approve, I can pay with any of my wallets. So I can pay like make any of this payment. That's for the salary feature. So far, we made the choice not to pick the money directly from the wallet of the company that's paying their employees. That's something that we can automate. But for treasury management purpose, we preferred to let the CFO click on pay and make his or her own disbursements each month instead of picking the money directly in their wallet. So we want them to be aware of what they pay at what moment in a volunteer click. But one more time, if it's something that it's interesting for you and can, if the automation of the disbursement is interesting, you just let us know. The last thing I wanted to show you today is the following. I'm gonna do this. Pay expenses. Oh, okay, I don't have any expense, so I'm gonna try to do something in real time. Let's see if it works. File, movie recording. There we go. I want the source to be my iPhone, not the camera. I don't know if this works. No, I'm not sure it's gonna work. Anyways, I really wanted to show you this. I'm gonna try another one. And camera. There we go. It's gonna work. There we go. So here I have my request. I'm gonna look for you see my iPhone screen on the right. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna open request expense app. I need to find the receipt. Oh, I'm gonna scan something else. Anyways, so we're gonna purchase a pair of AirPods. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna disconnect 1 second to log in. So the objective here is, well, I'm gonna do that later. The objective is likewise Expensify. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Likewise, Expensify, we have an app that helps you to scan every single transaction receipt. It creates a request for payment in the payer dashboard. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's paid. So here, the CFOs receives instantly request for payments here. And once you pay, you receive it. You have, for example, so here I have only one receipt, but you can have like as many.
You have to, sorry, I think you have to reshare your screen.
Ah, yeah, sorry. My bad. Entire screen. There we go. So here you have an example of an expense report I made in the past, so May 24th. So here I submitted only like one receipt, which was like a parking receipt for an airport. But like you can submit as many receipts as you want. The CFO receives the receipts in real time, create an expense report out of those approved receipts. And in one click, like the click I did to pay the invoice, in one click, you reimburse your employee in their favorite currencies, either making a bank transfer if the person wants to be reimbursed at their bank, either in crypto if the person wants to be reimbursed in crypto. One last topic I wanted to tell, because like this fiat topic opens a new door. Bank transfer. So I'm gonna, if I hit pay, there we go. Okay. Now, what's important is the following. When someone sends an invoice but choose a payment as a payment method, a bank transfer. Okay. What's important is you could make a bank transfer and copy paste this banking information, like an IBAN, for example, and make directly a bank transfer to your employee. So that's the traditional way of doing it. Or you could use the crypto to fiat bank transfer. So what is this? This feature is still in development. It's a beta at request. It's called crypto to fiat. And anytime soon, you're going to be able to make all your fiat payments directly from your favorite wallet. What it means is you don't need to off-ramp any of the fiat currency you want to pay people with. If a contractor, a marketing agency, a lawyer, like a traditional company sends you like an invoice to be paid in dollars or in euros, you're going to receive that invoice here and you're going to pick crypto to fiat. It's going to open your ledger, your MetaMask, whatever wallet you want to pay with. You're going to be able to make that disbursement directly from your laptop. And the person, like during the day, like maybe an hour after, the person's going to receive the fiat, the equivalent in fiat in their bank account. So that's the crypto to fiat feature that we're actually developing. It's like we're like dog fooding at the moment. It's not released yet, but that's something that we're working on actively. I think it's time, Umar, for like a question and answers. I've been talking a lot. Time for question and answers.
Sure. So everyone, you can just post your questions. I can also invite you on stage if you want to speak rather than write your questions in the chat bar. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can open the mic, I think.
I do have to individually assign, like let someone speak. So I could, if you want to speak, you can just raise your hands, or rather just let me know in the chat and I can invite you on stage.
I'm trying to.
Like, is there anything right now in your current, if you're paying employees or vendors in crypto that you're currently struggling, and anything related there, any challenge that you currently face that you want to have clarity on? This is like the perfect time for it.
So yeah, I can I manage. I'm gonna share my screen one more time because I manage like to unlock my phone. So I'm gonna share my screen, entire screen. There we go. So here you see like on the right, my phone screen, I just launched request app and I'm gonna submit an expense. So here, what I do is like, I'm gonna add the receipt. So take a photo. Let's do this. I'm gonna take this as a picture. Okay, so this could be like a receipt. My accounting is still in Swiss francs. I paid this 5 Swiss francs and AirPods. Okay. And in the category, I go to office furniture, for example, or equipment. Yeah, equipment. Go for equipment. And I submit it. Okay. What's interesting is in the expense part, he's here as a CFO. I see that my employee like submitted like AirPods. I see that it's corresponding to that receipt, of course. And I'm gonna submit another one. I'm gonna do like this fantastic screen. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do 2 and screen still in office furniture. Equipment, perfect. There we go. So I just submitted 2 expenses. If I refresh my screen here, the second one's gonna be there. There we go. I review this one. So those are the AirPods. And this one is the, so I'm gonna create an expense report. I'm gonna approve it first and create an expense report out of that. And now what's interesting is I can reimburse my employee directly from here. So I have plenty of expense reports to pay. So if I go here, expenses, sorry, approved. Those are the ones rejected, the paid ones. And if I go to the pay, I can pay like all the expenses. What's interesting here is as soon as you pay the employee, then it instantly settles on the phone screen that you've been reimbursed. And as soon as, likewise for the invoice, as soon as the screen appears green, people don't need to check their Etherscan or their wallet. It means that the money is necessarily in their wallet. That's the interesting part. And most of the people who have expenses to be reimbursed when they travel to conference events and they want to get reimbursed in crypto are using that, and that's an interesting product. Okay, I go back to the questions.
Maybe in the meantime, the people are sharing their questions. If you could also share a little bit more about how to choose the right pricing package for requests, or how does it work with pricing?
Yes, I'm gonna display that in a second. Let me just have it here. Pricing. Okay. Let me share my screen one last time. There we go. So what's interesting is request for the vendors is always free to use. We are not making a vendor or a contractor pay for using requests to submit an invoice. Otherwise, they would use like an Excel spreadsheet and save it as a PDF. So issuing an invoice is free. And the payers who get the most benefit for requests are like paying subscriptions. So you have a free plan that like enable you to start requests with your own account. If you have a payment to make because one of your vendors invited you to pay with request, you can pay with request and discover the payment experience without paying. And then we have starter pack, grow pack, pro pack, enterprise pack based on payment volume. So from $20,000 payment volume to $1.5 million payment volume, you have the packs. And what's interesting is you don't jump from a pack to another one like directly. It's like, for example, between $20,000 and $100,000. As soon as you have exceeded the $20,000 included in your monthly plan, I would say, for the starter plan, you pay for extra payment. So you see here at the bottom of the screen that we apply fees that are like decreasing, of course, with the volume. So if we talk about the starter plan, for any payment exceeding the plan, you pay 0.5% of what's exceeding. But if you are in a pro plan and you pay above 400K per month, you pay 0.2% of the amount that exceeds the 400K up to $1.5 million. And then after $1.5 million, of course, you switch to enterprise plan. And after enterprise plan, if you have a really big company that makes like $1 to $10 to $20 million payments per month, of course, we'll make like a custom quote. Question from the audience? Okay, Umar, do you? Okay, so if you don't see any questions on your side, we can wrap.
Yep. I mean, if anyone after this webinar needs to reach out to the Request Finance team, maybe I will share the link as well here. Or they can reach out to you individually by email as well, Chris.
Yeah, anything works. You can paste like a calendar, like maybe like in the notes here, or you can share my email address. That's the same.
Okay, I'll just quickly share your calendar. All right. So I'll share your calendar there, and yeah, if no one has any question, I hope this was useful to you. Next week we have another webinar, this time focused on auditing of crypto. We're going to be joined by members of the club from PricewaterhouseCoopers and from Harrison Trotter in the UK. So please make sure you join that webinar as well. And lastly, what I want to say is if you guys are attending ETH CC in Paris next month, on the 17th of July, we'll be having an event. The Web3 CFO Club will be hosting an event. We're inviting all our members, but I'll be making an official announcement actually next week. So you'll have all the information and the link to register, but do mark your calendars for that event already.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, for giving this presentation today.
Thank you very much. Have a good day and a good evening for the late ones.
Bye.